Hey y'all, I'm Allison Asarch from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, I'm Sean Fraser from the Ritzy Kids.
Hunters, this is Johnny from Rail Motor.
Hey, it's Shane from Blind Season.
Hey, it's Rob Stanier, and you can check out my music on all the streaming platforms.
Check out my latest music on all the streaming sites.
Check out my debut album on all streaming platforms.
Check out our new debut album.
Check us out on Spotify and Apple Music. And you're listening to our friends, Braggy and Curly.
And my favorite bands from Australia.
My two favourite podcasters,
Braggy and Curly.
Braggy and Curly.
On the
Unfiltered and Undiscovered Podcast.
So let's get started, shall we? Hey there, everyone, and welcome. It's episode 145 of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered Podcast. We've got a full board again tonight. We've got just underneath me on the screen, we've got Braggy from the cold confines of Adelaide. Right next to me this week, we've got Rossi from Sydney. It's good to see you back, mate. We missed you last week. We had a great episode talking about that cult band from Perth, back the boys. So
I missed that. I did, because I love that record too. I love that record.
We had so much fun with that one. And underneath Rossi, we've got our very special guest for tonight. We've got Matt Ward. We'll talk a little bit about Matt in a second, but the key thing that you do need to know is that Braggy finally has a friend who follows the Redlegs.
I've finally got someone who follows the AFL at least. Bloody, yeah, it's good. Mighty Leggies. I can smell a premiership, Matt. I can smell a premiership.
Yeah, they're doing well. Just have to get through Central Districts next Sunday, I think, and they're both undefeated.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. Did Central win on the weekend too? Did they?
I
think
I don't know about the weekend. I assume they did. So they're both 5-0 or 6-0. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, we'll get
all
to
right.
that.
So quickly, Rossi, up to date with the Pocket Watch album. How's it all going?
Well, Pocket Watch new record's going very, very well. The young fellows have they're at the mixing stage now, and sounds pretty impressive. They spent a week in at a place called Hercules Street Studio, which is owned by Harry Vander of the Easy Beats.
Wow.
And it's got all the Alberts records up. So like, you walk in the front door, you go past a gold record for Let There Be Rock on the way in.
It's intimidating.
It is. But the boys had such a good time, and I reckon it'll be pretty impressive. So it was good fun too.
We've got a favour to ask. We spoke about it last week on around the boys album, and we reckon Pocket Watch have to do a cover of When You're Lonely, a boys cover. So someone's got to bring this.
Angus already does it. He's already been playing that around the place.
All right. Well, we need a video. So
he's trying to find a vinyl copy of the album. Actually.
Oh, truly?
Well, I've got one.
It's very hard. It's very hard to find that. Sit on that one.
I'll find one for him.
Do that. That'd be great.
Big Star. I'll talk to Big Star.
Too easy. And now, also Rossi, Jupiter 5. How's the album been going?
Look, that surprised me actually. It's been really well received. I've been getting a lot of international airplay. Been getting played in places like Austria, would you believe?
Yeah,
Austria and Europe and in America as well. And
that's
like,
good.
I'm more surprised than anyone else.
That's a good album. Right. I love it. We're gonna review that.
Yeah, we do. We need to have a bit of a chat about that one of these days and break it down. So, Braggy, news on your front. What's been happening down there in Adelaide? Apart from, no doubt you'll talk heaps about the Redlegs. But
that's all it is for me, mate. I mean, I've only just been back from Queensland for that 1 week, so I really haven't done much else. But
how did the tour go?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, we played in front of a lot of TV screens with the footy in the background.
Reformation show? How was the Reformation show?
The Reformation show was great. There was a whole bunch of people there, Rossi. I was saying to Curly last week, people that I remember from like 1986 when we were originally playing, and I used to think, man, that guy is not going to be alive, you know. And they were still alive. These people still doing the same thing, drinking piss. And,
I hope you didn't have that dreaded experience where some random young lass comes up to you and goes, "You don't remember me, do you?"
No, Yeah, no, there wouldn't be any young lasses. Wouldn't be any young lasses, mate. They've all been in their 50s and 60s. But there were some people that I recognised, but I didn't know their names. But anyway.
Yeah, towing a 30-year-old son behind her and say, "Meet Jack." Yeah, no, we won't go there.
No, there was none of that. Thank God for that.
We call him Cave too.
She's pretty rough up there in Townsville, mate. So get a couple of hundred people at the gig, and you get a full set of teeth.
Yeah.
So a lot of South supporters.
Yeah, or Port. Hey, Matt.
Or Collingwood supporters.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so Matt, welcome to the podcast. I hope that's given you a little bit of a taste of how serious and professional we are. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Matt, I usually get to kick it off. So you've been in the business for a while, but I want to go back further and tell me where did it start for you? When was music all of a sudden conscious in your mind and a thing that you wanted to do?
I grew up with music. I played music as a kid, but it was fairly traditional piano type of stuff and singing in a choir and the like, and always been into music just like general people are. But probably in terms of playing music, I had a couple of mates that were in bands, and a bit of a cliche, broke up from a long-term relationship in my late 20s, picked up a guitar, started writing songs, and found it a cathartic experience. And not being a huge technician on the guitar, 3 chords and the truth sort of seemed to suit me. And I basically found an outlet for me for dealing with emotions and also writing about experiences. And so that's where it really kicked off in terms of, the buzz of songwriting, the buzz the first time you play with a band and you feel the band behind you and the hairs stand up on the back of your neck and you go, okay, I just want more of that, and it bites you in the butt and it doesn't let go.
Yeah. And was it always country sort of style stuff you played, or did you start out like a rocker? Or
Yeah, no, definitely country starting out, and I think that was because I started probably later in life. But I mean, my live show is pretty rock and roll anyway. It's pretty country rock, so through the band itself. So I'd call it country rock. But I like the fact that my music I can play to different rooms, so I can play ballads and I can play upbeat sort of barn burners as well.
Yeah. There's definitely some boogie there in some of your stuff.
Yeah, a little bit 4 on the floor, and I don't mind that at all.
Absolutely, yeah.
Listening to Come Home Safe, it is just, I don't normally say this, it's just an enjoyable song. It just puts a smile on your face. And there's spoken lyrics that sort of, when you first listen in, you've got that, it starts off with a little bit of spoken and I'm going, what's going on here? And then it just sort of kicks into this bundle of enjoyment that just makes you smile. So I love the song, and I shared it with our country music correspondent, Big Stu, and his response was that he'd already heard it a couple of times and he loves it. So
excellent.
So it's getting out there. So tell us a little bit about what the song's about and how it came to be.
Yeah, in about July 2022, I'll go back. I released my second album, If I Was in Dallas Tonight, at the end of 2021. It was off the back of COVID, and I was actually, because I was in South Australia, still managing to tour a little bit. So I released that, and then after that, I couldn't get anywhere outside of South Australia. Tamworth was cancelled, and they weren't doing shows, and so it was a bit of like falling off a cliff a little bit in terms of your momentum, and that saw me sort of on the couch for 6 months, probably just relaxing. And I'm not one to relax that much, and was getting in a bit of a funk, but. I'd also had a couple of recurring dreams, long story. One was about this kind of marginal country off the eastern side of the Adelaide Mount Lofty Ranges. and a big hill dropping down into sort of the Murraylands region with sort of granite outcrops and a grey metal stone road. And another one was of more of a arid escarpment acropolis type of thing. I'd had these two dreams probably at least a dozen times each, and during that time they both came together, and I met between these two locations at a pub. At the pub was my producer Matt Fell and Kevin Welch. I don't know if anyone knows Kevin Welch. He's a very highly respected country songwriter and has done a lot for country musicians on Music Row in Nashville, even Chris Stapleton and the like. And they were there in a pub of a town called Springton. And I'd pretty consciously can say that I'd never been to Springton or heard of Springton. And so I looked it up, and it was actually in the Eastern Mount Lofty Ranges between Mount Pleasant and Eden Valley. Eden Valley is where you start to get into wine country. And I thought, well, I have to go visit this town. And I was getting pushed from a friend to say, you got to start writing again. I took some leave off work and I drove up there, visited the town, and sure enough, it was this kind of marginal country, which just before you drop down into Manham, which is on the flats of the Murraylands, and went to the pub, had a beer, only one beer, went to drive home. It was starting to rain, and I had a car accident on the way home. And
shit.
Yeah, it was a really nasty car accident, and at Lobethal, and I got T-boned by a ute. I was okay, she was okay, but the car was a total write-off, and I was 3 days later, I was due to go to Matt Fell's place to start doing some writing and looking after his house. I was just like, oh, this is kind of weird. And weirdly enough, also, I'd had another dream where an associate of mine was on stage, and he was singing in that vocal style, and it was that melody. And I remember waking up, recording that, and I thought, all these things can come together nicely, or it just happened. I started writing the song, and sure enough, that's the vocal style, that's the melody, and the song is inspired by that car accident and set of events. So that's where the song came from, and it's definitely one out of the box. I don't know too many songs, certainly in Australian country music, that kind of sound this way. So yeah, appreciate your words.
That's interesting. I listening to that song, which I liked, its rock ethic, but I also thought that looking at the title of the album as well, there's a little bit of a home motif. Like home seems to be pretty much looming large over that. Is that something that was conscious, or was it just happen that way?
I started writing at a time when I was between these four walls, beginning to fall in love and beginning to get to know someone. And I think that finding yourself at home and finding contentment is something that, was in that song. But I'm also due to release my third album, and there is a lot of that theme in there. So off the back of previous albums, and If I Was in Dallas Tonight, which was about my getting up to no good between Australia and Texas, this is next step in life's journey.
There's a long winding road, deep valleys on the side, but no water to show. There's a few scattered trees, road is grey metal stone, and the dust is starting to blow. It's one of those roads that you probably know like the back of your hand, but closer to home. Cut the corners in the morning, fire warnings today, keep on your radio. And I've been waiting for you my whole life, I can't wait to hold you tight. Don't you go and die. And you've been looking in the wrong places, looking for the wrong faces. Come home safe tonight. At the bottom of the hill is an old-fashioned town. I walked around and found the only bar on higher ground. I strolled through the front door, hope a seat I could score and some answers could be found. I ordered from the barman, but he gave me a frown. Then he poured me and ignored me, that assured me somehow this is normal, nothing formal, just a normal surrounds, and where sorrows come to drown. And I've been waiting for you my whole life. I can't wait to hold you tight. Don't you go and die. And you've been looking in the wrong places, looking for the wrong faces. Come on, safe tonight.
Yeah, Matt, you
I feel like you've all been there before.
yeah,
I love Dallas actually.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
I want to talk about that. One of the best lines in Come Home Safe, Matt, though, is I love the rhyme of fires in the distance with cumulonimbus. No one's ever written cumulonimbus fucking nimbus in a song before.
Yeah, well done.
Awesome.
Well
That's
done.
awesome.
Yeah. I think I've mentioned that in one of my social media posts. It's like, oh wow, that rhymes. You beauty. I managed to get cumulonimbus.
Yeah, that's good.
He's, the man's surprisingly articulate, isn't he?
Yeah.
Me or Braggy?
No, it's you, man.
No, don't give them any ammunition, Matt, against me. They're always up me. Yeah, look, it's very homely the way you sing. It's very like every man's voice. You know, that's how I think it's relatable, the song. But so you've been doing this since like 2016 or something? Is that when you kind of first?
Yeah, I'd had a couple of bands before that, but my first album was 2016 or EP.
So that's nearly 10 years you've been kind of in the business. Has it changed a lot for you since? Like, how has it changed for you since then?
There's some things which haven't changed, such as trying to organise band practice is still a pain in the butt.
Yeah, can relate to that.
Yeah, and you don't make any money. That hasn't changed. And you still forget about all the deadlines for making festivals, for applying for festivals. So some of that hasn't changed. But I've managed to grow, I guess, my project management and, get to know people in the industry and how to promote your music and using publicists. And to be honest, one of the big steps I did was actually going to a good producer for the first time. So I never realised they were a thing. For my first album, Heartland, going to Matt Fell and taking that leap of faith that somebody who's so proficient as a musician and producer would have time to do anything with my scribbles and my bedroom antics. So that's been the big change. But the industry is changing every 3 to 6 months at the moment. It's insane, just like how people are promoting their albums and how they're navigating the digital world. It's changing every 6 months. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, we always talk about that, and people are still working it out. You know, Rossi and I are always talking about, what do you do, how do you release it, what do you put out, and you got to have the numbers even for the festivals, haven't you? You got how many Facebook listeners have you got? That's
right, and how many followers and stuff like that. It's nothing to do with the music per se.
Yeah,
data-driven and the metrics are king, aren't they?
Yeah,
but you can't measure some things, and the things you can't measure are the things you can't measure.
That's right. Yeah,
you can't measure shit bands. I've seen a shit band with 100,000 plays, and I know they ain't real.
That's right.
Yeah, fair enough. That's a good point.
I would never name them.
We know that, Rossi. This is your third album, and your other two albums have reached number one on the ARIA country music charts, correct?
No pressure.
That's correct.
Oh, gee.
Yeah. So, how did you feel about hitting that number one spot with the first album and then backing it up with your second?
I was certainly surprised and blown away, but also proud of, I guess, there was a fair bit of hard work that went behind it. So, the ARIA charts are a funny one. I also feel a little bit like, a bit diffident or humble because, that's based off doing your pre-orders and, punching 200 or 300 albums as pre-orders ahead of that time, but it only stays up there for a short amount of time. What I'm impressed with other artists that managed to stay up there for 2 or 3 times amongst major labels who are selling stock to get on those ARIA charts as a bit of a gimmick. You know, you sell your hundreds and hundreds of copies to JB Hi-Fi, and they might throw them out 3 months later, but that means you stay up on those charts a little bit. So,
charts are manipulated.
That's right. So, just to be honest, the small spike of getting that high up over 1 week and then dropping back down is probably highly genuine, because it is like, oh, here's all the hard work I did and it's disappeared. So you know, hats off to those people who stay up, and like the genuine people that stay up in the charts, like Fanny.
It's a hungry beast to keep feeding, isn't it?
Absolutely.
To keep feeding. Like social media kills you.
Yeah,
it does.
It's too much. But I guess, you seem like you just do it for you, Matt, anyway. But it's by the sound of what the things you write. That's what I can hear.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and love getting on the road with my band, and love playing live. So, and writing the music is something I need to do. So,
yeah.
So if you're listening to any Australian performers, who would you be listening to these days, or who would you tip your hat to?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you know. There's a couple of there's a few bands coming out of New South Wales that I really like. It's sort of in that alternative country type of scene. So I don't know, Andy Gollidge, if people are familiar with him.
I know Andy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I just, again, somebody who's really original, done the hard yards, and is getting out there and has played so many live shows and draws a following. Also, William Crichton, I think, is somebody who's a bit out of the box and definitely has that Australian genuine feel about him. And I should promote, I run a music label, Heartland Music Australia, on the side as well. There's several artists on that one. Amber Ray Slade, who's out of Tasmania. She's an incredible songwriter in between juggling life. She doesn't release quite so often, but she's an amazing songwriter. And a chap called Nathan Seeks from Geelong, who's a brilliant songwriter as well. So there's some names. Yeah.
Well, I want to know, like, when and why you went to Texas, because those songs from that album, or from when you were in Texas, there's a couple there, like American Road and Lost and Found, that I really love. They're a little bit darker, which is kind of my style. A little bit more. I don't want to say it's outlaw, but
yeah, they're definitely out. They're definitely not country per se. It's more outlaw and just out of the box a little bit. So yeah.
Yeah, but it seems to be there's a lot of emotions going on there when you were there. Am I putting you on the spot? I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, that's absolutely fine. I first went to Texas in 2013 for Austin City Limits, and then I went back in.
Nice.
I think it was that 13 trip, and somebody slipped into my DMs who was living in America, who was from Adelaide, and they said, "Hey, do you want to take a trip to West Texas?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" So literally meeting someone and going on a road trip with them for a couple of weeks. With you never met them, so a range of emotions around that. That was basically both Lost and Found and American Road. And I thought topping and tailing that album like that was kind of suitable, because they're both sort of outlaw, out of the box songs, kind of atmospheric. Squished in a whole bunch of country. So
yeah, I love those two songs. That's because I was going through the back catalogue today. It almost sound like, I was telling the boys before, it almost sounds like the Go-Betweens. I don't know why. I don't know why that made me feel like that, but it just.
I'll give you another one that I've been referenced on that one, and that's the Triffids, Australian.
Yeah.
There you go. Exactly. That's it. Yeah. So that. Yeah, I love that. You need I like some more of that sort of stuff. Love it, but
two bands that are known to me.
Yeah. Put them in context for the boys.
Yeah.
That's an interesting. But there like for the Go-Betweens in particular, there's a little bit of that North Queensland sound that permeates through a bit of their stuff. It's a little bit of that. Yeah. Liquid Sunshine, the Queensland sound, and the Triffids got that Western Australian thing going on as well. Like it's not big city music.
It's right.
I'm not having a crack, but it's not big city music.
Adelaide.
Oh no.
I see what I cop every week, Matt.
Mean that like that. but it's not. But big city music has a different sort of nastiness to it or aggression to it, but that doesn't, Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's a homely sort of style.
It's the open road. It's the
it is.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Big sky. In Texas, did you notice the big sky when you're doing the road trip?
Certainly in West Texas, absolutely. And it's a weird mix of dry and humid Texas, all in one. So,
but
sorry, go on.
Interesting place to go to. I mean, most of the country guys are just focused to go to Nashville, And forget about Texas, which is
Austin's good though.
Yeah, Austin's incredible, diverse scene and very supportive of musicians of all ages and all different styles. It's phenomenal how live and it's a live scene. It's evolving constantly. So
it's kind of a melting pot of blues and stuff and everything, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's where the original Outlaws went. So that's where Willie Nelson and Mel Haggard and everyone that's threw in the suit and threw in the Music Row type of approach and got on it and went to Austin and did their own thing. So that's where Outlaw kind of really started. So
Austin's helping to turn Texas purple.
Yeah, that's right.
It is.
So Matt, is it part of your aim to take your music full time and move to like the US, or is it just something that you do? Because when I look at your resume, you do a lot, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'd say not at present. I think my tactic is, and it's a sensible one, a bit boring, is probably continue to try and release good music, good profile, take those opportunities, and if there's a transition there where I can both afford my mortgage and still do, increase my profile in music and play bigger opportunities. That's what I do. Sounds a bit boring, but I think that's what I'm trying to do anyway. So I've done the sort of throwing it in for 6 months and going to Austin and the like, and you learn lessons that way. So
yeah.
But you're also like you like being a live band. You like working live.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I've got a bunch of bandmates who are, my drummer's probably the youngest guy, and he's probably late 20s, and then up to, my pedal player just left. He was in his 60s, but we're all middle-aged, and it's just relaxed and it's just easy and it just makes it fun. There's no bullshit, so it's great.
It's good to have a young drummer. I know what it's like. It's good to have a young drummer.
So, Matt, how does someone based in Clarendon become a Norwood or a Red Leg supporter?
Because I'm a Kensington Cowboy originally. So, my family, had a
shoe shop.
A shoe shop on the Norwood Parade called Ward's Shoe Store that had been there for 120 or so years. It still is Ward's. They don't own it anymore. So that was the sort of point of gravity for my whole family. And we actually lived in the hills and commuted to town. But Norwood was, it's a centre of gravity for our family. And my niece now runs a cafe on the Norwood Parade called Rodeo. I think I've inspired her. Yeah. So,
nice.
Yeah, and I just, Norwood Footy Club, I remember going to them there on Saturday afternoon with my dad when he used to close up the store at midday when shops wouldn't go past midday, and butchers were spruiking their wares sort of either side of the Norwood Parade, and it's very, very fond memories. So, and I was only there yesterday, so I still get there. I haven't got to a Norwood game this year. I am a member though, so I'm not bullshit.
Mate, I've only been to a couple this year as well, but I have to get 6 in a row. I got to get there.
We'll have to stay in touch.
I can walk there. So
beautiful. We'll have to stay in touch, and if we're at a game, have a beer together.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Well, I love that. I got to talk about your song, like the red and blue. Is that what's called? Is that what's called?
Yeah, red and blue Norwood song.
Yeah, yeah. I just like the way you just run through the game. The song's just about going to the game and quarter time, having a kick at quarter time. But I love the line at the end at 3/4 time where Norwood's down by a lazy 25. That's great. That's very good. And it's funny because you do exactly the same thing that I do. And I'm relatively new to AFL. I've just fallen in love with the game, especially because my daughter went to Norwood Primary, all the Norwoods. So
Awesome.
She did her sport on Norwood. So I just fell in love with that. I just fell in love with being able to go on the ground at quarter time, half time. And it's exactly the same for me. We go, and Curly's come with me and been to a couple of games and go and listen to the coaches at 3/4 time and listen to I love the supporters who will yell out stuff, their advice.
Go hard at the ball.
That's right.
Some of those real hard nuts, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm really happy I recorded that song because it sort of intertwined both the footy club, but also my connection with the parade and the shoe store and my family and my mum and dad were in the film clip and my partner.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. My partner and her kids were in the film clip, and we got the hot chips. And I'm sure some people looked at it and went, "Oh, that's not very country," or couldn't connect. But I certainly had lots of support from the club, and my niece has said because one of her friends plays for the women's team, said that the players sometimes sing it and stuff like that. So that's awesome.
Oh wow!
That's good.
That is cool.
Drop me to the shops at 1:30. By the lights, the town hall next to Wards. A Saturday and my mates are all down for having fun, and I have finished all my weekend sport. We're heading down to the Oval, watch my team on parade, watch our heroes run on this field that can't be done. Watch the Redlegs win again. Throw on my scarf and beanie, Mum gave me $20. The best hot chips are right there through the door. The footy ends up on the street, we dodge the cars and trucks, and on my back are the numbers 1 and 4. Quarter time, we jump the fence and run onto the grounds. The grandstand seems to make it feel so real. I kick it from the pocket and I hear the roaring crowd. I try to find my dad up on the hill. We're heading down to the Oval, watch my team on parade, watch our heroes run on this field that can't be done. Watch the Redlegs win again. Time we listen to the coach's speech. Norwood's down by lazy 25. He gives them help but pumps them up and says they're within reach. And with the wind I know they will be fine. Now I am older, but the change I do not fear. When I can, I walk down to a game. Throw on my coat, my beanie, $50 for my beer, and buy the form so I can learn their names. We're heading down to the Oval, watch my team on parade, watch our heroes run on this field that can't be done. Watch the Redlegs win again. We're heading down to the Oval, team on parade. Watch our heroes run. Our Macca, he's a gun. Watch the redlegs win again.
That's the
All right.
endorsement right there.
Yep, absolutely. All right, Braggy, I'm going to hand over to you for
For the
trivia.
quiz. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Now, just to give you...
Don't feel bad, Matt, if you can't get these up. Some of them are hard. But
Yeah, but you should be able to beat me because I'm pretty hopeless.
Curly
This sort of
is
stuff, mate.
hopeless.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's 20 points all up, the quiz. So it's 5
Yep.
questions. One's worth 1 point. One's
Curly's
worth
down
4.
by 25. Curly's down by 25 at 3/4 time.
Okay. What do these songs have in common? You ready?
Yeah.
Lola by the Kinks, My Generation by The Who, Physical by Olivia Newton-John, Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood, and K-San by Cole Chisel. That's the first one. Don't answer now. Just write it down and we'll get the answers at the end. Okay. Second question. This is worth 5 points, one for every one you get right. Where were they born? So you're going to tell me the country where these musicians were born.
Okay.
The clue is none of them are where you think. Some of them you should get. Freddie Mercury. Sade. Remember her?
Yeah.
She's a smooth operator.
She is. Joe Strummer from The Clash.
Ooh.
Cliff Richard and Gautier of Australian fame. Yeah.
Oh,
Gotta
Rossi
move on.
seems to
Ready?
be focused.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. Next question. This is 4 questions about tears, boys. Who looked at the tracks of their tears? Tracks of my tears. Or who sang that? Tracks of my tears. Who sang Tears of a Clown? And who had Tears in Heaven? Who sang Teardrops? And who sang Everybody Wants to Rule the World?
Oh, that's a segue.
Oh, didn't he?
Right the way I did that? Right the way I did that?
Yeah.
Okay. Second last question is name the 4 members of Queen. You got to get all 4. That's not. I mean, if it was me, I always get stuck on one.
So do you want the drummer's name from what it was titled in the first album, or what his name was in the last album?
Rossi. Too good. I don't care either, mate. you freakazoid. Okay. Now the last section of this, Matt, is the hardest one. It's cryptic band names. So if I was doing your name cryptically, you'd be like Welcome Rug Hospital Wing, like Matt Ward. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready? You ready for this? These are super hard. They never get these. First band is Pacific Backstreet. Pacific Backstreet is the first cryptic clue for that band. Second one, I love this. Make myself laugh. Second one is English patella thrown by Zulus.
What?
English patella thrown by Zulus. Curly, this one's for you. The third one. Seinfeld with front runners. Seinfeld with front runners. All right. Got that? Fourth one is an easy one. Fourth one's an easy one. Uncomplicated primary color. Uncomplicated primary color. And the last one is hard as well. It is, you ready for it? Stolen grotto with substandard pods. Told you it'd be hard.
It's very hard.
Very hard. And can I just say your example of doing the cryptic in Matt's name is officially the worst one you have ever done.
I have to make it up on the spot.
I'm still trying to figure it out. So.
Well, Matt, welcome rug is a Matt, I guess. I don't know. And a hospital wing is a ward, isn't it? Okay, you ready?
Okay. All right, let's go.
No, the songs Lola, My Generation, Physical, Relax, and K-San were all banned when they first came out. There you go.
And they all featured in The Simpsons.
Every song's featured in The Simpsons.
And in some circles, physical is still banned.
Really?
Yeah, around me and guys I work with.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Relaxed was interesting by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Apparently, the guy who first played it on the BBC radio, he got halfway through the song before he realised what it was about. It wasn't. It wasn't about yoga, and he pulled the song then. And K-San, they said that they banned it early on because of a couple of the lines. The legs were always open.
Their lines were often closed.
And the drug reference, but
yeah.
They're pretty sure it was because it was anti-Vietnam and it wasn't that long after the war.
Speed and Novocaine.
Yeah. Okay. Freddie Mercury was born in Tanzania or Zanzibar, it was called then.
Yep.
Tanzania or Zanzibar. Sade was born in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Freaking Joe Strummer, only learned today, was born in Turkey. In Ankara.
Really?
Yeah.
I guessed Ireland. for that.
Right. Cliff Richard was born in India.
Oh.
His parents were stationed there. And Gautier was born in Belgium.
Oh, okay. So I got Sade, and that was it.
Well done, Curly. That's all right. Got one. Tracks of My Tears is by Smokey Robinson. Miracles.
Yep.
Tears of a Clown's by Smokey Robinson. The Miracles. Tears in Heaven's by Eric Clapton. Teardrops is by Womack and Womack, but I'd take Massive Attack Teardrop as well if you had that.
Yeah.
And Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears.
Yep.
The four members of Queen is Freddie Mercury, Brian May, Roger Taylor, and John Deacon. Everyone forgets the bass player, Rossi.
No, they don't. But it's actually in the early albums he was credited as Roger Meadows Taylor.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that.
And his son is the drummer for The Darkness.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
The
cryptic band names, Pacific Backstreet is Ocean Alley, Australian band.
Yep.
Yeah, you got that? English Patella thrown by Zillus. Well, English is a Brit, so that's a Britney Spears.
Oh.
Britney Spears?
Yeah.
You like it?
No.
You like it?
Never, not even close.
No.
Really, Seinfeld with front runners. Did you get it?
No.
It's Jerry and the Pacemakers. Don't you run marathons? You run marathons, you have pacemakers. Jerry and the Pacemakers. Uncomplicated primary color is Simply Red.
Simply Red.
Well done.
All right.
Ready? And the last one, Stolen Grotto. That's like a Nick Cave.
Oh no.
Nick's Cave. And the substandard pods, they'd be bad. They'd be bad seeds.
Yeah.
How'd we go, boys?
What was it out of?
I
20.
I got a pass mark at 10.
Well done, Rossi. That's big.
That was hard. That was really hard.
So, Matt, how'd you go?
Yeah, not good.
That's all right.
Not good at all.
All right. So I got 6, Braggy, somehow. So
well done.
So Matt, you've got a year worth of touring to do.
Yeah.
So the Long Way Home tour. And so how many dates is that?
It's 20 at the moment, so I've got an album coming out on 6th of September called The Long Way Home. Always been keen. I had it planned for COVID for my last album, but it got thrown out. I've got a national tour, New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland and Tassie, and I'll probably add more dates to that as momentum grows. As I find more locations and find the time to look for more locations. So, and kicking off this weekend in South Australia. So at Norwood, Stein's Tap House and the Weedy on Sunday, and up at Macclesfield in the Adelaide Hills on the Saturdays.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, should be a good year.
You're at the Weedy this Sunday.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I might even sneak down there.
Awesome.
Do you find? Are you finding? I mean, we do all sorts of music, but recently we've done a lot of country artists, and there seem to be more and more country festivals popping up, little ones popping up everywhere.
There are. So I think country music's growing, or there's a resurgence.
Yeah.
It's weird because there's been a resurgence through the Americana and alt scene. Then people realise it was cool, and then there's been this massive resurgence of country pop or bad country potentially. Just what I know, I think a lot of councils and regional council are like, hey, let's put on a country music festival. Let's get blah blah. Yeah, get the same 5 names. Sorry, and throw on a music festival and see how we go. Even then, they struggle to make a profit out of it, or they struggle to make it happen. So, but definitely, it's a good thing that there's a lot of attention on country music. But even in the last 6 to 12 months, even the last 6 months, starting to see even though you think you couldn't do it anymore, a greater focus on commercial country music. So, that's all right. You got to hit the road and you got to make those fans, like the people like Andy Gollidge do and Fanny Lumsden have done, and Slim Dusty did in this day, and Casey James has done as well. Like hitting the road and making those fans and connecting with fans is the most, a surefire way to build that foundation of listeners and people who will buy tickets to your shows. So.
Win them over one by one.
On the door as well, Bragg, if you want. Bring a mate along and I'll put you on the door.
All right. Okay, yeah, sounds good.
Brilliant. So New South Wales, Harvey, 4:00 doors. And there's a chap called Harvey Russell from New South Wales, originally South Australian. He's Central supporter, but don't hold that against him.
That's all right. As long as he's not Sturt.
No, definitely not Sturt. So, yeah.
That's okay. All right, that sounds fun. That gives me something to do on Sunday.
Awesome.
Cool. I'll report back, boys. I'll be the on-the-road reporter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
Photos or it didn't happen, Braggy. Photos or it didn't happen.
Yeah, no, I'll take some photos.
Yeah,
for sure.
So you mentioned the same 5 artists, right? So obviously that was a little bit of a dig, and so do you see a little bit of the sameness in festivals? Is that what you're alluding to, Matt?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bankability.
The 5 artists.
Bankability. That's right. And, people got to make money, and it's all that cycle. And there's many of them that have, all of them have done lots of hard work. But from the festival scene, from South Australia, it's kind of difficult. In New South Wales, you got less distances to travel and stuff like that. So it's just kind of challenging from South Australia. But those big country music festivals certainly, focus on a smaller number of artists. But that's the way it goes. I'm sure that happens in other genres as well.
People don't know what they like until you make them listen to it.
Exactly.
There's a lot of festivals that are. There's a lot of festivals that small festivals that cross over as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Blues and roots and country and everything. Like one of our favorite bands, one of mine that we've had on the show is a band called Sweet Talker who are from Sydney. Yeah. And I know they're not quite. They're a bit more Americana, I guess. Bluesy sort of feel. But so there's a crossover.
Absolutely. Sweet Talker, a great band. And I think last year I played Cronulla Jazz and Blues Festival, and I'm certainly not jazz. Probably closer. I reckon my guitarist is more a blues guitarist than he is a country guitarist, but he brings his own stuff to mine, and then I end up sounding like me rather than just a classic country band. So that's the beauty of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Matt,
how-
let's look. Sorry, Braggy, you go.
I was just going to ask how many was in the band. Like, what's the band setup lineup?
5. So drums, bass guitar, me, and pedal steel guitar.
Oh, nice.
Good. Lovely touch. Love a good pedal style.
Yeah.
And occasionally fiddle, but I just can't afford that many players.
Yeah.
Fiddle player always gets cut.
She's a star. I shouldn't cut her, but I have to have pedal steel in there. I just have to.
Yeah, for sure.
So Matt, let's talk a little bit about some of this other stuff that you do, because I'm fascinated. You've got a PhD in theology and ecology. You manage property with fruit trees, horses, and don't forget the chickens. Long history of land management. You represented Australia in ultimate frisbee. My God. So
it's a Renaissance man. He's a Renaissance man.
He is a Renaissance man.
I'm definitely not a Renaissance man. You should see my drawing and my handwriting, and I'm definitely not a Renaissance man. Just don't keep still. Yeah. What do you want to know?
Let's focus on 2007 World Beach Ultimate Frisbee Championships. What was that all about? I'd never even heard of that.
All right. So Ultimate Frisbee is a team sport. It actually probably came out of UCLA back in the day. So, there's Californians and throwing Frisbees around college campuses. It's evolved into an international sport of 7-a-side played on grass, but there's also the beach version. You have 2 end zones. Like rugby and touch, you got to catch the Frisbee in the end zone. And when you have the Frisbee, you're not allowed to run, but everyone else is running. So it's a combination of like netball, gridiron, or touch and...
Yeah, I've seen it because I've got KO, and if you're really bored, there's nothing on. You go right to the end of the sports, and it's got
I do. Yeah.
It's got other, and then you go there. You got like ultimate frisbee, chess boxing, which is really cool, and some other stuff. Yeah, cornhole.
I was playing here in South Australia, and the opportunity came up to go to Brazil, and they must have been shorter players, and I played for Australia. And you got to choose your battles. And as I say to my mates, none of them are world champions. So stuff you.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. That's a chalk. But you've got a long history in with First Nations communities and land
management.
Tell us about that.
Yeah. So studied science at university, something fairly generic, and then got into working with wildlife and environmental science essentially, and ended up working in the APY lands, the Anunga Pitjantjatjara Yankunytjatjara lands up in the far northwest of South Australia. It's otherworldly, beautiful country, and I'll never forget the first time I drove into a remote Aboriginal community and go, oh wow, like this is on our backs, on our back door in Australia, and so many people don't even know that country, or even the conditions people are living in and stuff like that. Anyway, kept working there, and then ended up managing the whole western third of South Australia, so down to the Nullarbor Plain and the Great Australian Bight and Maralinga. And aim of the game was to do environmental work and save threatened species, but get Aboriginal people employed in doing so, and having the support of traditional owners. So did that for 10 or so years, and then that sort of transferred into general natural resource management, water management, pest management across the state. So that's been my background, and that's spent a lot of time on the road. And the old Jilpies, the old men out in the APY lands, they love their country music as well, because they're all old cowboys. So
I get I think that's the vibe I get from those songs you wrote in Texas.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That especially like that Lost and Found, almost, because it's almost like one chord.
The whole thing.
There's two, but it's like a drone. I can hear the didgeridoo doing it. I was thinking, why is there a didgeridoo doing that? But I guess it's because you're in Texas where there's.
Yeah, I recorded it in in Texas too. So they didn't have one floating around.
Pretty sure on digits. But that's the first thing I thought when I heard that song. So I wondered if that has had an effect on your music. I reckon it has. Yeah, you can hear that in there.
I remember recording that song and we were listening to it with the producer and the musicians at the time, and it was a big, and they're like, "Oh, so that's how you do country music in Australia."
No,
it's like this guy from Australia with these world-class musicians. I'm like, "Yeah, I've got a song. It's in one chord. Is that okay?" And they're like, "Pretty sure we can do it."
Hey, mate, it takes something to write. Yeah, that's.
Well, Shane Nicholson. I played the song in front of him. I played the song to Shane Nicholson, and he said, "I've tried about 30 times to write a song in one chord, and I've never managed to do it." So I think Dylan managed to do it a few times. So.
I just want to see the Americans scratching around trying to figure out what key the dig is in.
Yeah. Trying to write a chart for it. What was the other? I'm just going back to the back catalogue because people listen to this that they can go and go back and search. The other one I like of your back catalogue is the one with Tasha Coates from Two to Tango. That's I love this. I love the theme of that where if you have a breakup, it takes two people to have the breakup, but people don't come out of it the same. There's a difference in how they come out of it. That's what I got out of it anyway. I think that's just a cool take on a breakup song.
So it wasn't a breakup song, but I'm glad that you found that.
There you go.
That's what music's about, isn't it?
Exactly.
That's what it's about, people being able to find themselves in it. So for me, it was two tangos, two people coming together. So.
Wow! So
tell us more.
Fallen in love.
But isn't that interesting that Braggy's got the complete, almost the opposite end of the coming together? And
and it's not as if I've been through any breakups. I've been married for 37 years. So
did you play the song backwards?
I just got that out of it. I thought it was about two people who
that was the inspiration.
Want to split up.
Yeah, two to tango, two to feel the fire.
Good song though. Good words, good song. Simple,
I
concise.
think it was that whole you're teetering of do you or don't you? And if you do, there's a chance that it will go.
Yeah,
that's the risk you've got to take.
Yeah, it's good.
Excellent. So Matt, where can people find you if they want to check in and check out your music?
Yeah, thanks. So all the streaming platforms, but mattwardmusic.com is the home of everything, including tour dates and where people can find where to pre-order my album. My album's out on the 6th of September. It'll be out on classic black vinyl, no colours, just black vinyl.
Sounds
CD.
better that way.
Exactly right. CD and digital, and all my tour dates and where you can get tickets and the likes. So mattwardmusic.com.
Awesome. Right. We'll make sure we've got those links in the show notes. So, Matt, been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today, and good luck to the Redlegs and good luck catching up with Braggy on Sunday. I'm sure that he'll give us a roving reporter
Awesome.
Of you live on stage, so that'll be pretty cool. So for everyone else, I hope you've enjoyed the episode. As always, we're on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. We've got a website, unfilteredundiscovered.com. Matt's music will be added to our playlist on Spotify so that you can check it out there. And interestingly, Braggy, when I did the re-upload of one of our protest songs, it's our ones that we did back in the very early days of the podcast. The numbers
when we really didn't know what we're doing.
When we had zero, well, we still have zero idea, but we had no idea, and the numbers from that re-upload have been actually really good. So I might have to do more of them. So no words, no lyrics from the playlist today, guys. But I hope you've enjoyed the show. Next week, believe it or not, I believe we will have a band called Sex Toys on the show. So
we go everywhere, don't we?
We do. And
are they punk or are they?
No, I think they're like there's about 3 or 4 of them. They're like we're lining up, and Sex Toys is probably the first one that will come on, and they're a Queensland band, 4-piece young band, guitar band. So
Okay.
they're quite unique. So I'm really actually looking forward to it. Very, very unique
Cool. Me too.
band, and they seem to be mastering TikTok. So that's next week.
Yeah.
Matt, once again, thanks for popping in. It's
Thanks,
been
man.
awesome
Great.
speaking with you.
Rossi. Thanks, Braggy. Thanks, Kelly.
Good to meet you,
No worries.
mate. Nice to
Yeah,
meet
you
you.
too.
Hey, y'all. I'm Allison
See you all.
Asarch from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, I'm Sean Fraser from the Ritzy Kids.
Hunters, this is Johnny from Rail Motor.
Hey, it's Shane from Blind Season.
Hey, it's Rob Stanier, and you can check out my music on all the streaming platforms.
Check out my latest music on all the streaming sites.
Check out my debut album on all streaming platforms.
Check out our new debut album.
Check us out on Spotify and Apple Music, and you're listening to our friends Braggy and Curly.
My favorite bands from Australia.
My two favourite podcasts is
Braggy and Curly.
Braggy and Curly.
on the
Unfiltered and Undiscovered Podcast.
And Rossi.
So all the footballers are up in Queensland this week. So I guess it'd be a good time to break into houses because all the coppers will have to be down in the keeping an eye on all the people.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Magic Round goes crazy.
Cat's down there for Magic Round. Curly.
Yeah,
She goes
Free
there
sellout.
every year.
yeah,
Free sellouts.
yeah, unbelievable.
Wow.
No. It just keeps getting bigger. I had a friend of mine who didn't realize it was Magic Round and was looking to get a room at South Bank. And she said the only room she could find is one that they're charging $1,500 a night. And she said, "Is there something going on?" And I said, "Yeah, it's Magic Round." So,
Yeah.
If it gets much bigger, they're going to have to move it to Sydney.
Alrighty.
Careful, Rossi. State of Origin's not far away.
Yeah.
I'm used to it. Don't worry. I'm used to it.